All right, the meeting will come to order. Has everyone been able to review the minutes from our last meeting? And
We need to do the roll call.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can we start with the roll call?
sure, let's make a roll call. My name is Josh Wilson, and I'm a commissioner for the Civil Service Commission.
Ray Mitchell, I'm a commission member.
Jeff Young, Deputy Police Chief.
Julie Good, Secretary Examiner.
All right. And have we all been able to review the minutes from last week's meeting?
Yes, I have, Josh, and I make a motion that we accept them as written.
I will second them. We get a roll call for all in favor for accepting them.
Ray
Josh
Mitchell, I'm in favor of accepting them.
Josh Wilson, I am in favor of accepting as well. All right.
Is there any discussion on that motion?
I have no discussion.
Okay, so we'll carry that motion.
Carry that motion. All right, and so we have some action items today, regarding the entry-level advanced police officer continuous testing eligibility list. Julie or Chief Young, would you like to take that?
I can just say that there's one new candidate on this list. We're excited to have an advanced entry candidate. We don't get too many of them. So this candidate has gone through the basic law enforcement academy, but didn't complete FTO with an agency.
But their name's not on the list.
It is number 4 here.
Oh, number 4. Okay.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get done with the meeting, I'll take a look at that packet and be reaching out to the candidate.
Okay.
I make a motion that we accept the entry-level advanced police officer list.
And I will second it. Can we have a roll call for this motion?
Ray Mitchell, I accept it as written.
Joshua Wilson, I accept it as written, and the motion carries. And regarding the action item of the certifying the entry-level police officer continuous testing eligibility list, would you like to speak to that?
So we have 2 new candidates on this list, number 4 and number 21. With the number of vacancies we have at the moment, the chief might not be able to look at candidate 21 yet, but I think they're really close. But he'll definitely have an opportunity to look at candidate 4.
Yeah, and one of the things we like to do is we like to review their personal history statements and part of their background so we can make a determination as to whether or not they're going to be potentially successful in our processes. We have been doing a lot of command interviews with many of the folks that you see on your list there. We just did a command interview this past week with number 16, phenomenal candidate. There just may be a service obligation there that would prevent us from moving forward with that one. Some of these folks we need to communicate better with Julie moving forward. That's our fault, because there's going to be some of them that are going to be probably placed into hold status. And by the time we have our next meeting, we'll have this cleaned up for you, because we've been going through and we've been doing some of that. But as you see, number 20 is probably getting his conditional offer today as we speak.
That's great.
Well, Chief, just looking at this list, it's very encouraging.
We're very happy with it. And on top of that, we do have one lateral candidate that will be starting with us effective March 1st. So I just sent you all the calendar invite to invite you to the swearing in ceremony that will be at council chambers on Tuesday, March 7th at 1800 hours. So hopefully we'll be able to get right in and get the swearing in done. So that way y'all can get about your evening there. We're also looking at maybe trying to streamline this a little bit too, because that particular candidate is going to start on March 1st. But then if you notice, we can't get him sworn in until March 7th. So I was discussing this with Chief Azizo and I went, hey, we're potentially going to have a guy walking around not commissioned in Lake Stevens. I mean, this person's still going to be a certified peace officer per CJTC standards, but not commissioned in Lake Stevens. So we might have to tweak that just a little bit. So again, by next meeting, we'll work with the mayor and figure out how are we going to do this so that we can make sure that we have a commissioned person working in our city while they're going through some of that training. And then on the lateral note, we have potentially 2 more that'll be starting at the end of March, early April.
Nice.
I make a motion that we accept the entry-level police officer eligibility list as written.
And I will second it.
Or yeah, there you go.
And can we get a roll call?
Yeah,
Or-
we did a roll call. Sorry, I was late, guys. I had the Zoom decided it needed to update just as soon as I clicked on it, right? So I'm just watching the spinning wheel go, man. Okay.
Well,
Have
these
we
you
called
made
our
it,
roll
Brian.
call yet, or
What do you say?
Yeah, we're on item C, Brian.
item C? Okay, thank you. Apologize.
Ray Mitchell, I accept the list.
Joshua Wilson, I accept the list as written.
Any discussion on the motion?
No discussion from Ray Mitchell.
Brian,
Nope,
do you,
No discussion.
the motion carries? And we have as our next item on the list, the certifying of the police record specialist eligibility list. Do we have any discussion around that?
So we had 2 rounds of oral boards for this position. We have 1 vacancy to fill. So I'm excited we were able to put 7 more candidates on the eligibility list for the chief's office to consider. The records manager and the record supervisor and the record specialists were all on the oral board, as well as a peer from Marysville, their record supervisor. So it was great to get lots of folks on our interview panel, and happy to put 7 more people on there for them to consider. We have 9 on the list, 2 of which will expire in a couple of weeks on March 3rd. Which will leave them with 7 on the list, but great candidates.
And we only have 1 opening. is
We
that
have,
correct?
yeah, we have 1 opening.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a good
Encouraging.
problem to have.
Yeah,
it's a good problem to have. Yeah,
It's encouraging to see the interest level, right? It's great.
yeah.
Really good.
And records does not seem to be our issue. We seem to be able to attract a number of people to that position. It's just with all the different things going on in our state right now, we're having some trouble, obviously, with the laterals, but we are very encouraged to see the number of people on the entry level side trying to come on board.
Absolutely.
Now, Chief, is people asking for public records and us having to retain all that, is that part of the reason that we're having to staff that so heavily?
For the sworn side, or for this record side, we are just filling our current vacancies. We are in the process of compiling the data required to add another 1, if not second, support services person to deal with public disclosure requests exclusively.
Oh, okay. So it is driving more personnel to handle that.
Yeah, it's going to, especially with the body worn camera video. Right now, we're working to streamline some of those processes and figure out, is there any way that we can get the video production done in a much quicker fashion, or is there anything we can do to take down those deliveries and when we have to return those public records requests. So we're currently working on all those things, but invariably we're going to need some more staffing to process all the different ones, from both we want to see this particular report to this body worn camera video, et cetera, et cetera. We're having some concerns with that right now.
I make a motion that we accept the police record specialist eligibility list as written.
I'll second it.
We get a roll call regarding the vote.
Ray Mitchell accepts it.
Brian McManus accepts.
Joshua Wilson accepts, and the motion carries. Looks as though we may have some staffing and recruiting updates under item number 4. Is there any discussion on that?
I tried to make it a little easier to identify the new candidates on the list on here by showing you for the entry level, the new candidates are number 4 and 21. On the advanced entry list, the new candidate is number 4. And then just an update, which really just summarizes what's on the eligibility list as far as who is in what status.
Well
Uh,
done, thank you.
We went to, we were recruiting at Edmonds Community College a couple of weeks ago, recruiting for officers. And then tomorrow there's a scout event over here at the fire station that the police will have a booth at, and then I'll be attending that as well to try to recruit some of the parents and older siblings. Any place we can get the word out, we're gonna go and get that word out to folks.
That's great.
Now, Chief, I'm looking at this list, and of the 24 that are entry level, it says 10 of them are not moving forward. Can you or Julie embellish on that a little bit? Why they would not be moving forward?
So when Chief Bezzo and I conduct the review of their personal history statements and so forth, and also combined with command interviews, sometimes we find out that there's either something in their background that's going to cause some problems, or number 2, most importantly, that they're not going to be a fit for our organization. So we have 3 more of those command interviews scheduled coming this next week. So we'll be able to give you a little bit more of an update as to whether or not those candidates are going to be moving forward. But we do see from time to time in backgrounds, whether it's for laterals or for entry levels, there are just some things that are there that we just can't get past. Either there's potential automatic disqualifiers, or there's something there that's just, it's I can't really elaborate too much right now in the public forum, but it's one of those things where when we look at it, there's just some blemishes that are maybe not reflective of the highest standards of the law enforcement profession.
So they could fall off completely.
Correct.
Okay.
Are those the ones that are on hold right now, Chief?
They're the ones that are on hold are ones that we're looking at because they may not be the fit that we're looking for with our organization. Because one of the things that I really want to impart to y'all is that when we are looking for a candidate, we are looking for one of the highest caliber that will fit in with our community in our police department. You know, the agency, but just may not fit right away with our agency. So there's some things there. And then we're also looking at it from a perspective of how soon can we get them to the academy? And there's a number of different things that we're looking at.
Right.
So the hold candidates are not completely off the list. Matter of fact, the 3 candidates that we're having the command interview with this coming week are from the hold list.
Okay. Thank you.
Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just I did the quick math and I'm like, is that the 10 Ray's talking about? On the top of my head, but no, I'm with you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, it's nice to know that in spite of our urgency, to get people to the department, we haven't lowered our standards at all.
Yeah, we feel like that would be detrimental to our community. We're not going to put our community members at risk or have them worrying, hey, am I going to get the best possible officer out here? We're doing everything we can to make sure that we get the highest quality applicant.
Good.
No doubt.
We need a motion to accept that list, or is that just an update?
That's just an update. Yeah, we're good on that.
Just an update.
All right, thank you for that update. Does anyone have any new information regarding the Basic Law Enforcement Academy BLEA status update?
The only update I have for BLEA as it stands is that we are looking at about 10 months turnaround time before we can get an entry level into the academy. As far as the regional academy goes, Chief Bezzo had another meeting last week to try to determine another regional academy location. So with that being said, we're hoping that we get some sort of movement on these regional academies. It's my understanding that a regional academy in Pasco is going to start probably April or May of this year, when it was slated to start in July. We're also hoping that we can maybe get another regional academy in the North Sound area established and up and running, hopefully by June or July. So we're still working toward that and working through all those details and the minutia of that. Again, in the coming meetings, I'll be able to give you a little bit more information on that.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you for the update. Does anyone have any new business to bring before the committee?
Well, I just had a question about what's going on in state legislature on some of the law enforcement issues, but maybe that would be something that we need to discuss in the executive session, or,
Yeah, or after we adjourn, that'd probably be good.
okay.
All right. If there's no new business, I call for us to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. And quick roll call for that.
Ray Mitchell agrees with adjournment.
Ryan
Josh
McDonald
Wilson.
agrees with the adjournment.
Josh Wilson agrees with adjournment. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Now, do you have to ask if they